Hey everyone, this is Jason from Paracycling. Today my video is going to be about how to teach cornering technique for hand cycling. So hand cyclists are athletes that are in a wheelchair, and so they pedal with their arms on a special bike called a Handcycle. And there's some special skills and techniques to learn how to handle them safely and to handle them well. So that's what I did for my video today. So first I'm just going to explain a little bit on a whiteboard of kind of what the point of this exercise was. So for hand cycling, this is meant to simulate a U-turn on a road. So if here's your road, and then this is like a pylon that you're turning around. So what I'm trying to teach is how to go around a pylon like that in the most efficient and the fastest way. So this involves choosing the right line and going around it in a way. So I don't want to have an athlete that comes way out here. That's not how you want to do it. And of course you can't come in too short. And if they don't keep up their speed, then if they kind of come in straight and then try to turn really quickly, that way can often lose a lot of speed, and it's quite difficult with the turning radius of a hand cycle, because hand cycles are quite large, so they don't turn very sharp. So the point of this exercise was to give the athlete an opportunity to learn this to learn in the best way possible. The first video I'm going to show you is of the athlete doing it at the beginning of the day, and where they're learning how to do it. And so I brought the athlete out to a parking lot and showed them, I kind of explained what I wanted them to work on, and then without doing too much instruction, I just let them go around and try it themselves to see how it went for them. So the first video I'm going to show you is the athlete doing it on their own without any specific instruction from me, just for them to kind of discover it on their own and to see how it feels for them. Okay, so here we have what I've drawn as a very simple version of a hand cyclist. So they're laying down on their bike, on their back with their feet forward. There's the front wheel, there's the rear wheel, and they have their arms in a downward position. So you can see that their arm cranks are down, and this is kind of a comfortable position, but it actually limits the amount of turning you're able to do with the front wheel, and it makes it quite difficult to turn hard and to turn fast. And what I want for the second one is, for what I'm trying to teach and what I was instructing the athlete, is to work on cornering with the hands held higher. So here the cranks are in a vertical position, pointing straight up. And then when their hands are in that vertical position, they're able to get much more leverage on their cranks, and they're able to turn quicker, sharper, and more accurately, which allows them to go around corners faster and to be more smoother. So I know these are very simple drawings, but you can see the difference between cranks down and cranks up. It means that their hands are higher and that they get more control when they're cornering. So now I'll show you a second video. This was from later in the day after we've done some practicing, and you can see in this second video how the athlete is able to keep their hands higher and able to turn much sharper and much quicker and be more efficient, give them better bike handling. So if you can see this, you can see that their hands are higher. So they're lifting their hands above their head, and then they're turning with their hands kind of in this position where their hands are up high versus with their hands down low. So that's kind of the two positions. This is what they were starting with when they started riding, and then this is what I was giving them some drills and exercise to understand the difference. Perfect. That's great. So in fact, I had 2 videos showing kind of him at the end of the session and showing the progress he had made. And yeah, I was really happy with how the session went. He was giving me lots of strong feedback and positive feedback, saying that he really felt like he was cornering much better. He also felt like he had much better control on the bike, and that was something that he would be using going forward as he was riding his bike to have more control as he rides around. In reflection of this session, thinking back on it, it was I think maybe 2 months ago when I had that one filmed. I think looking back on it, I think what was a good part of the session and something that I think went well was the way in which I let the athlete kind of discover it for himself. I let him try it out. So I didn't give him too much, I didn't talk to him too much or give him too much instructing before he started. I just set up the course and explained to go around these obstacles and watched how he did it, and then he could feel it, and he struggled a bit and he felt like he couldn't quite make the corners properly. He was having to hit the brakes, and then I was able to kind of explain the difference in the positions and let him kind of feel that himself. And then I explained, you know, if you feel what it's like with the arms low versus what it's like with the arms high, and how that difference feels even when you're just stationary on the bike, he could already feel like it would make more sense. So he then went out and practiced it a few times, and of course didn't get it right away, but within 3 or 4 times of trying it, he was starting to pick it up very well. And then it was just really encouraging to see him do it and to kind of give him feedback as he was doing it, because it seemed quite obvious once he figured it out, and then it went quite natural. So I was quite happy with it, and I could really see he became a lot more confident for hand cycling, and he seemed to be in quite a positive mood coming from that session. So that was it was a very good experience, and I'm happy to have been involved with coaching for that moment.